Lockhart Perspective.
Hello, and welcome to everyone. So glad to see all of you guys. I tell you, it feels like it's been forever since we've seen one another. But why don't we just put it on out there? What we're looking at tonight are a load of issues. So we titled it Recalls and More, and it is Recalls and More. Because we're going to look at recalls. We're going to look at a lot of different things that are going on. And then I've got a couple of questions, and I'm hoping you guys will be able to answer those questions for me. I don't know about you, but you guys always know whenever we do the recalls, the one thing that we're always talking about is how amazing a lot of the stuff seems. Why haven't they done anything? Why doesn't anybody do anything? Why does anybody stop any of this? This is what we always say. Some of the questions that we always ask one another when we're, sitting here chatting with each other. And I still have that question. But I think what I'm going to do is we have a few stories that are public health alerts. And these public health alerts are going into a lot of the different foods and whatnot that have a recall on them. But to me, I don't even feel like they should have been here in the first place. I don't think they should have been in the U.S. in the first place. And I want you guys to be the judge. Down below in the description is going to be the links after we publish the actual live. And then I want everybody to make sure that you guys chat it up. Tell us what you think. Share it out if you have the ability to do so. And for you that are watching here in the replay, make sure that you leave a comment because that helps the algorithm and helps get everything out. Agent Josie, how are you? God bless you as well. So let's take a quick gander. I'm wondering, do you guys want me to start with the terror news, the terroristic news, which I'm sure everybody already started, or should we just get right into the doom flickums? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I think we better start with that first, and then we can get into it because I'm amazed. I didn't know anything about this terroristic stuff that was going on until I pulled it up just a few minutes ago, and I was like, yikes! But I figured you guys want to know. But anyway, here we go. Some public health alerts. Here you go. All right. And on this month, February 3rd, 2023. Now, the FSIS has issued a public health alert for ready-to-eat stuffed chicken product that it might be undercooked, but it's just chicken. Don't worry about that. Don't be a big baby. It's just chicken. Yeah. Have a medium rare steak or medium well steak. Just chicken. Well, they said that it has a possibility to be undercooked due to a processing deviation. February 3rd, 2023, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety and Inspection Service is issuing a public health alert for ready-to-eat or RTE stuffed chicken product because the product may not be fully cooked due to underprocessing. And the FSIS is issuing this public health alert to ensure that consumers are aware that this product should not be consumed. A recall was not requested because the product is no longer available for consumers to purchase. So I guess the reason why they're giving us the information is so that you have it in case it's in your freezer, right? That's what I think. Let me give you guys the full screen on this. There you go. Yeah, that's the ticket. You can see that just fine now. All right. So that's the reason why they haven't done it, because it's no longer available for purchase. But the ready-to-eat broccoli stuffed chicken breast product was produced by Vanguard Culinary Group Ltd., a Fayetteville, North Carolina establishment on December 3rd of 2022. The following product is subject to the public health alert. There are some labels that are over here. If I click over here, I'm sure it'll let us see. I wonder if it'll let you guys see too. Let's check it out and see. Yeah, that's it. This is the culprit. That's the one. Have you seen it? Tell me, have you seen it? Yeah. Broccoli stuffed chicken. Looks benign, right? Watch out for that. Watch out for that. That's it right there. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, hand stuffed with broccoli and cheddar au gratin, fully cooked, and it's microwavable. So just heat and serve is what it says. It's ready in 3 minutes. Ready in 3. That's what it says. There's your label. It's got the heating instructions. Tells you how to do it. My question for everybody is, would heating it help, Melinda? Would heating it help? I don't know. I'm wondering. I'm just wondering. But it says here that it was inspected for wholesomeness by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So don't worry. It was inspected. There's a seal. That's what it says. It says don't worry. It was inspected for wholesomeness. Wholesomeness. That's what they say. It was inspected. So for those of us who may have this in our freezers, you may want to discard it, or you may want to definitely take it back to the company that sold it to you. So that way you don't have to worry about it. Just make your own, Blondie says. Don't eat anything that's processed. Blondie makes good sense. She's our sister in the chat. Blondie's making some good sense. Just make your own. There's Blondie. Just make your own. Don't eat anything processed. Some people may have to, use some things that are quick to make around the house. So anyway, it goes on to say that the packaging is a 16 ounce or 1 pound vacuum sealed trays that contain Park Street Deli, broccoli stuffed chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breast, and hand stuffed with broccoli and cheddar au gratin. Use by date was January 30th, 2023. The product, subject to this public health alert, bears the establishment number of P as in Paul 8334 inside of the USDA mark of inspection. This item was shipped to retail locations here in Alabama, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. The problem was discovered when consumers reported to the FSIS that the product labeled as fully cooked appeared to be raw. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to consumption of these products. Anyone that's concerned about an injury or an illness should contact their healthcare provider. The FSIS is concerned that some product may be in the consumer's refrigerators or their freezers. Consumers who have purchased the product, they're urged not to consume them. These products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. Consumers and members of the media with questions about the public health alert can contact Jeff Gruber. He's the Vice President of Food Safety and Quality Assurance at Vanguard Culinary Group Limited, or at this Jeff Gruber, vanguardculinary.com. There's the phone number. It also goes on to say here that if you're a consumer with a food safety question, you can call toll-free at the USDA Meat and Poultry Hotline. There's an 888 number, MPH hotline. That's 888-674-6854, or you can do a live chat. Once you're able to get a hold of this link down below that'll be put in the description, you'll be able to click around and you'll be able to, contact somebody if you are an individual who has this food at your house. So they went ahead to make sure that we knew that. So that's a good thing, right? That's good. Well, there's another issue that's going along. More chicken on the horizon, more chicken issues. Let me let you see that. Here you go. Let me change this out for you. Bingo, bango. And hopefully you can see that one. Yep, there you are. So the FSIS issues a public health alert for frozen chicken korma. Now listen to this. This sounds so tasty with basmati turmeric rice. Well, the products are being recalled due to a misbranding and undeclared allergen. Sometimes people think that, a little peanut this is big deal, it just has a few peanuts, or big deal, it just has this or that. Those things, when people are allergic to certain things like peanuts and like dairy, and they have to have an EpiPen, that is dangerous. It's very dangerous. So it's not just, something that's in it that's undeclared that has, the potential to have an allergy. It's the fact that some people can, go under from an undeclared allergen being in their food. On February the 3rd, 2023, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety Inspection Service is issuing the public health alert for frozen chicken products due to misbranding and an undeclared allergen. The product contains cashews, a known allergen, which is not declared on the product label. FSIS is issuing the public health alert to ensure that consumers with allergies to cashews are aware that these products should not be consumed. A recall was not requested because it's believed that the products are no longer available for consumers to purchase. I wonder where they get that belief system from. Anybody? I wonder where they get that from. It says the frozen products are labeled chicken korma with basmati turmeric rice, but it may contain vegetable tikka masala with turmeric rice. This item was produced November 8th of 2022, and the following product is subject to the public health alert. Here is the label. It's the 10-ounce containers of Wegmans chicken korma with basmati rice with the best by date of November 8th, 2023. And this is the package. It's a nice package, actually. It's a lethal little puppy, though. See there? That's it right there. That's it. So if you see this product, you want to take it back. Yeah? You want to give it back. You just want to make sure that you either give it back or get your refund for it. And again, the reason why they say that they're not pushing the envelope on it is because of the fact that, well, they don't think anybody's going to buy any more of it because they don't think it's available for sale. But you know what I've seen a lot of times when I go over like to the Dollar Tree or something, or one of those stores to get cleaning products, maybe pick up a little thing of Ajax or something like that. And this is not a one up for them. I'm just saying. You see, they have whole like refrigeration areas full of food like this, like little boxes of quick things to eat, maybe somebody's a single guy or gal, and maybe they're just running in there to get their cleaning products, and they happen across the refrigerated area in some locations, just as an example. And maybe some of that stuff stuck in those places. I don't think they're very good with regards to all of their inventory, rotating it and moving it in and out, and then keeping I can't see any of those places doing a cycle count. I really can't. I'm sure they do, but they don't look like that type of place. So this right here is an issue. This is an issue. So what they're saying is, hey, you want to watch out for this. You want to watch out. The 10-ounce containers of Wegmans chicken korma with basmati rice with the best by date of November 8th, 2023. The reason why it concerns me is because this is just now February. And I can't see a lot of people purchasing that kind of stuff in between the time that it had the best by date and now. Meaning there has to be the possibility. There's a possibility this has to be still on the shelf someplace. If you see it, make sure that you return it. It says the product subject to the public health alert bear the establishment of P34641 inside the USDA mark of inspection. The items were shipped to retail locations in New York and Pennsylvania. The problem was discovered when the producing establishment notified the FSIS that they received consumer complaints reporting that the product labeled as chicken korma actually contained vegetable tikka masala, and vegetable tikka masala contains cashews, not declared on the chicken korma product label. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to the consumption of these products, and anyone that's concerned about injury or illness should contact a healthcare provider. FSIS is concerned that some product may still be in consumers' freezers, and that's a good concern. Consumers who have purchased these products are urged not to consume them, don't eat them, just take the products, throw them away, or return them to the place of purchase. Again, if you're interested in speaking to somebody regarding these products, you can definitely call the numbers that are right here. Cafe Spice at 845-863-0910 or Giovanni at cafespice.com. A little bit more information there. And you guys just got through seeing the picture. Okay. So that was that one. It's terrible. It's absolutely horrible. There's more. Let me clear these two stories out here. That's horrible. I don't like it. All right. So let's see. What is this one? That's the same one. We don't want to go there. All right. So now what I would like to do, there are more here on their website. And you and I are going to just plunder through here because, yeah, we need to. So let's take a look. More food safety. There's another one that's right here. We already looked at the Cafe Spice. We already looked at Vanguard. Here is Delight Foods USA. Delight Foods USA. All right. Delight Food USA LLC, a distributor and importer of a record located in Jersey City, New Jersey, and Delight Foods LLC, a distributor and importer of record located in San Jose, California, is recalling approximately 2,961 pounds of imported frozen. Now, you guys are going to have to help me with this. It looks like it's just, I'm going to just say catfish, because I don't know what Siluriforms is, but it's catfish. Catfish products. The products were imported from India, a country ineligible to export catfish products to the United States. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Inspection Service announced today. The date was February the 3rd. Okay. Said that that's when they announced it. The following raw products are subject to recall regardless of the product date. Let's look at the labels right quick, and we're going to come right back to that. Let's look at the labels. Oh, wow, you guys. Has anybody seen that box before? Y'all know that the pastor, Reverend Porkchop, be having these big old boxes at the back of the church. He had them big old boxes. Look at that. Y'all have seen them big old boxes. We're going to have some catfish, right? We're going to have some catfish. That's right here. It's good catfish. Look here. Catfish. Yeah. That's it. You guys have seen these huge boxes. Maybe not necessarily from this company, but I know that a lot of you have seen these large commercial sized boxes, right? And those large commercial sized boxes, some people, I've even known family members to buy those big cases like that and divide the packages up. So let's keep our eyes out for this, you guys. Catfish. This is them right here. Fresh frozen catfish steak. I don't know what the IF means, if you believe us. I don't know what the IF means. You guys may know. But it says it's frozen. Seafood delight. Do not refreeze after thawing, it says. That's the case. I'm amazed. I want to get to the rest of the story. Yeah, I want to get to the rest of the story. That's what I want to do. Let's get over to this because I want to understand how somebody that wasn't supposed to be selling something here in the United States ended up having it here. Why are we doing a recall on a product that never should have been brought here? Well, it could have been a mistake. So let's just see. Let's just see. It says 2-pound plastic packages containing Seafood Delight fresh frozen catfish steak if whatever that means, frozen fish. The products do not bear an establishment number nor a USDA mark of inspection. These items were shipped to retail locations nationwide. The problem was discovered during a routine FSIS surveillance activity of imported products. India is not eligible to export catfish products into the United States. Well, that's okay. We just had a big old balloon, 2 or 3 of them. They wasn't supposed to be in our airspace because we ain't got nobody watching the airspace. So we ain't going to be too mad at you, India. You didn't know, right? You didn't know that wasn't supposed to come here. Certainly the people that were supposed to be checking it, they didn't know. People that are supposed to be looking at our airspace, they didn't do nothing either. So y'all all right? Y'all don't be too hard on them. The problem was discovered during a routine FSIS surveillance activity of imported products. India is not eligible to export catfish products to the United States. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to the consumption of these products, my Lord. Anyone concerned about a reaction, just go ahead and contact your healthcare provider. Don't worry. Don't worry. There's no one's going to reimburse you either. Just contact your healthcare provider. Because FSIS is concerned that the product may still be in retailers or consumers' freezers. Don't mention the fact that the stuff had to get on a ship, refrigerated, brought over here, taken at the port of entry. Nobody stopped at the port of entry to match anything. Nothing was confirmed. It's just here. And we're concerned that it might still be in some retailers or the consumers' freezers. This place has turned into a doggone joke. This is the circus. This right here is absolutely unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. No matter who it is, this place has been sold out to the highest bidder. How much money you got? I'm gonna close my eyes. Bring it on this day. Ship it across the water. Just ship it across the water, baby. That's all. Just ship it across the water. It's gonna be all right. Don't worry. It's gonna be okay. Mitchell McNeely. Don't you mess with me. Melinda, you already know, right? Mama Ree. Okay? Mitchell McNeely. Don't you play with me. What? Let me get... Wow. Individual filet. Always my brother, my crypto pie, William. Always has my back. Thank you, precious. Thank you. Thank you. But Mitchell, William, I'm still trying to digest what Mitchell put here. Mitchell just said he ain't playing. I ain't playing. I ain't lying. Mitchell say, I ain't playing. I ain't lying. This, you ought to just be able to get one big blanket, I'm angry, out. And then everybody knows when you just do a certain thing that you're just angry. And they be like, well, she's on one again. Because I really don't know what else to say. If the stuff's not supposed to be in our country, then what are the flippity flop is it doing here? And who's minding the store is the question we always ask whenever we're doing any of these. Whenever we're doing any of these, I ask the same question all the time. Who's minding the store? So the FSIS has a main concern that this illegal product that was not supposed to be here on our shore, it was not supposed to come ashore. They're concerned that it might still be in the consumers' freezers. They're concerned that it might still be in the retailers' freezers. So they're going to let you know. Now, if you purchase it according to them, they are urging you not to consume them. How many places that fry fish, that buy big containers like that, have already fried that flipping fish? And you got people probably walking around having all kind of internal issues and stomachs bothering them, feel like they got needles or something, or maybe it's caused them a terrible bout physically. They're walking around now. They have no flipping clue that they've consumed something that came from India that they had no right to sell here in the United States of America. This is unbelievable. And these are the things that I say. If we're going to march about some stuff, and if we're going to write letters about things, if we're going to make our voices heard, that's the kind of stuff that we should want to talk about. This is the kind of stuff that we should talk about. The FSIS says they routinely conduct recall effectiveness checks. Well, to verify, recalling firms notify their customers of the recall and that steps are taken to make certain that the product is no longer available to consumers. When available, the retail distribution lists will be posted on the FSIS website. Consumers and members of the media, you just go ahead and give them a call. There it is, infodelight.com. Who the hell brought it in the country? If I call you, are you going to have that answer? If not, why do I need to call you? Who in the flippity flop allowed it? Come on. Chop, chop. You got people eating this and they're probably sick to this day. They're probably sick right now. Do you know what happens when a person gets ill from eating food, bad food? Vicky, I know you probably know. I know you probably know. I know Melinda probably knows. The sickness that you get when you have had food poisoning can kill you. Okay? Mama Marie says that it happened to her. She had some Lucky Charms. She had no idea why she kept getting sick. Turns out General Mills had just adjusted all their cereals to contain bioengineered ingredients. Bugs. Mitchell, you're absolutely right. You see that? See that? It's time for us to have Dr. B back here. But you know, he's big time now. Woo! I've known him for, 30 years? He's always been big time in my book, talking about the bugs. He's always been big time in my book. But right now, doing big things. I tried to get him back with us to talk to us about some of the stuff that's, healthy. Things that can get you going. New year. Want to try some new stuff. All right. Let's take a gander at it again in case you guys have seen it. You know how Reverend Porkchop at the church likes to have big fish fries. They like to do things for the pastor's aid fund. So sometimes big churches, small churches, Baptist churches like my daddy's, they like to have fish fries. My daddy used to go catch the fish though. But there are churches that have them. They get these big containers like this right here, folks. Look at this, India. They blatantly got India on the side of the box. Delight Foods, LLC. But wait a minute, you guys are full of it because you just said it right here. Here's the culprit. Distributed by Delight Foods, LLC, 841 Brennan Street, San Jose, California. Processed and packed by Power Yield Food Products Limited, Adore, Alafuza, something, India. Now, is it just me? Or does it look like that might be a lead? You guys tell me down there in the chat. Is that a lead? Let me know if that's a lead. Take a look again. Right here. It says San Jose, where my cursor is moving around. Let me see if I can make it any bigger. Here. You guys, we can solve this caper together. We can solve this caper together. Look at that. Distributed by Delight Foods. Looks like 641 Brennan Street, San Jose, California. Is that the culprit? Is that who needs to be dealt with? Parayil Food Products. There's the Indian address from India, but there's that one in the center that it was distributed by them. So that means that the parent company sent it to their company that they have in San Jose, California. And please do not believe that the food is good, that's got something good. When your enemy starts sending you stuff because they got a real bad dude that's in their pocket, you can believe it's not good. You can believe that. Yes. Thank you so much. There's the mod with the superpowers. She's giving you the snail mail for folks who just say, I don't want to do anything electronic. you can send snail mail gifts. That is 645 Wynn Drive, which converts to P.O. Box 5777, Huntsville, Alabama. That's what it converts to. But you guys, what do you think? Shouldn't somebody be accountable for this? I'm glad to see you, superstar Marty Lauderdale. So good to see you, precious. I think somebody should be held to task for this. I think somebody should, because to me, for a product to be here in the United States and it's not, and they do not have an agreement to have that product here in the United States, and you see what some of our folks here in the chat does. Okay, sweetheart. Well, some folks, I'm glad you're here. Some folks in the chat, namely Mitchell, Mitchell just got through telling us, okay, what they do there in the water where the fish are. You see that? So that's why I am a little aggravated. That's why I'm more than a little aggravated, because I feel like, we're supposed to be having people. Yahuwah, how you doing? Yahuwah ha Abba. Yahuwah. Do you see this? This is what makes me a little upset. That's why I'm upset, because I don't think it's right. I really don't. I don't. Here is another part that I wanted to read to everybody, because this is something that I saw before I came on, and I'm thinking, I know you guys, y'all the smartest bunch. It may be old to y'all, but it's new to me. And so I'm going to read this because I thought that this was amazing. It says, the FBI charges neo-Nazi leader in the plot to attack the power grid. Look at that. Let me make it a little bigger. All right. We forgot. When we do that, it takes that away. So we gotta make it a little smaller. We forgot. We're human. Yeah. And go down one more. There you go. So the FBI charges neo-Nazi leader in a plot to attack the power grid. The United States Justice Department has charged a neo-Nazi leader and his associate with plotting to attack Baltimore's power grid, a plan the FBI thwarted with the help of a confidential informant. Brandon Russell of Orlando, Florida, and Sarah Clendaniel from Maryland were arrested last week, officials said in a briefing on Monday, and they have been charged with conspiring to damage an energy facility. Russell is a convicted felon and founder of a neo-Nazi group called the Atomwaffen Division that works toward ushering in the collapse of civilization, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, a civil rights organization that tracks U.S. hate groups. Russell previously was sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to possession of unregistered destruction device and the improper storage of explosion materials. At the time of his arrest, he was still on supervised release, according to the FBI. The FBI on Monday alleged the plot was racially motivated but did not provide details. About 62% of Baltimore City residents are Black, according to the U.S. Census data. Representatives for Clendaniel and Russell could not immediately be reached for comment. Clendaniel and Russell conspired and took steps to shoot multiple electrical substations in the Baltimore area, aiming to completely destroy the whole city. But these plans were stopped. Erica Barron, the United States Attorney for the District of Maryland, said in a press briefing. Russell first came under suspicion in 2017 when his former roommate, Devon Authors, was arrested for murder. During his interview with the FBI, Authors said his fellow roommates were plotting to attack U.S. infrastructure, including power lines in Florida. The information led to Russell's arrest and subsequent conviction. Then, starting in at least June of 2022, an FBI confidential informant started to receive encrypted messages from a user known as Homunculus, who encouraged the informant to attack the electrical substation, the complaint says. Those in communications over the next few months, Homunculus urged an attack. When there is great strain on the grid, the note says, and noted that when the follow-up attacks could further lead to cascading failure, costing billions of dollars. Wow, this guy's pretty special. Who would ever, oh wow. I don't know whether I don't know. This I don't have to believe everything I read. I think some of this is sort of, I don't know, y'all tell me what you think. I'm going to sip my beverage. What do you think? Says it's going to cause boatloads of damage. Yeah, boatloads of damage. All right, let's continue. Now, in January of 2023, as their communications continued, a third user named at Callie1889 joined the conversation. She said she had compiled a list of potential targets, including Baltimore, noting the location was literally like a life artery, closed quote. According to the complaint, the account at Callie1889 was traced to Clint Daniel, who also has an extensive criminal record, including a prior conviction for armed robbery. Homunculus, meanwhile, was tracked back to Russell, the FBI said. And yet they had such a hard time trying to figure out what to do with a balloon that was floating on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let it go. But anyway, I digress. Baltimore Gas and Electric, a subsidiary of Exelon Corporation, which owns the targeted substations, said there was no damage to any of its equipment or outages. The arrests follow recent vandalization of electrical substations that left thousands of people without power in other states, including North Carolina, South Carolina, and Washington. The motives for those attacks were not known. Thomas, it looks like Sobocinski, the agent or the special agent in charge of the FBI's Baltimore office, said the FBI was not aware of any links between the two people arrested in the alleged Baltimore plot and the attacks elsewhere on the electrical infrastructure. Remember, you guys, I saw this story as I was coming in for you guys to do our recalls, and it just seemed like something that I wanted to read. So I figured, why not read it with you all? So it says also in December, a utility in North Carolina reported outages from what local authorities said were orchestrated shootings investigated by the federal law enforcement. Duke Energy Corporation, which provided power to the area, said at the time a total of 45,000 people had lost power. The FBI also investigated shots fired near a power facility in South Carolina days later. So it appears that could have been. We're not going to say that it did, but we're definitely going to say that it could have been them, because they had specifically said that they wanted to hit specific areas and that they knew that it would cause a big problem. So let's get on to some more stuff. I said recalls and more, and gosh diggity, that's what this is going to be. It's recalls and more. So let me go on ahead and take you to the and more. That was one of the and more. That wasn't one of them. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, the U.S. FDA, CDC, see early signal of possible Pfizer bivalent COVID shot linked to stroke. You guys want to read that? Or do you want to read the U.S. childhood vaccinations dipped again 2021 to 2022 school year? We've also got a little bit of, well, we already know about that. Hey, did anybody know that Kim Jong-un is actually missing again? Did you guys know that? Huh. They said they're wondering what's going on. Huh. Can you believe that? Well, let's see. We've got the major earthquake. Let's talk about that, you guys. That is sad. That is really sad. We all know about this, the circumstance here. It's not nice. It's bad. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it, but I do hope that everybody is interceding on behalf of that region. It's bad when you see anything like this happen to anybody anywhere in the world, no matter what the circumstance. So the major earthquake kills 3,700 in Turkey and Syria. Weather hits survivors. How many times have we seen that? Didn't that happen? Somebody correct me. William, I think you might know. Didn't that happen with Haiti when that big one hit there? Then after that, it was like storms. So this says that the huge earthquake killed more than 3,700 people across a swath of Turkey and northwest Syria on Monday, with freezing winter weather adding to the plight of the thousands left injured or homeless and hampering efforts to find survivors. The magnitude 7.8 quake brought down whole apartment blocks in Turkish cities and piled more devastation on millions of Syrians displaced by years of war. And it struck before sunrise and harsh weather and was followed in the early afternoon by another large quake. The Daya Barkri in southeast Turkey, a woman speaking next to the wreckage of the seven-story block where she lived said, quote, "We were shaken like a cradle. There were 9 of us at home. 2 sons of mine are still in the rubble. I'm waiting for them," close quote. She was nursing a broken arm and had injuries to her face. Here's another quote. "It was like the apocalypse," said Abdul Salam al Mahmoud, a Syrian in the northern town of Artrabeb. "It's bitterly cold," he says, "and there's heavy rain and people need saving," close quote. The earthquake was the biggest recorded worldwide by the U.S. Geological Survey since a tremor in the remote South Atlantic in August of 2021. In Turkey, the death toll stood at 2,316. The Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, or the AFAD, said, making it the country's deadliest earthquake since a tremor of similar magnitude in 1999 devastated the heavily populated eastern Marmara Sea region near Istanbul, killing more than 17,000. At least 1,444 people were killed in Syria in Monday's quake, and about 3,500 injured, according to the figures from the Damascus government and rescue workers in the northern western region, or the northwestern region controlled by insurgents. Poor internet connections and damaged roads between some of the worst hit cities in Turkey's south, homes to millions of people, hindered efforts to assess and address the impact. Temperatures in some areas were expected to fall near freezing overnight, worsening the conditions for people that are trapped under the rubble or left homeless. Rain fell on Monday after snowstorms swept the country at the weekend. More than 13,000 people were injured in Turkey from the quake. In the Turkish city of Iskenderun, rescuers climbed an enormous pile of debris that was once the part of a state hospital's intensive care unit in search for survivors. Health workers did what they could to tend to the new rush of injured patients. Quote, "We have a patient who was taken into surgery, but we don't know what happened," said Tulin, a woman in her 30s, standing outside of the hospital, wiping her tears away and praying. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, preparing for a tough election in May, called the quake a historic disaster and the worst earthquake hit in the country since 1939. But said authorities, we're doing all they could. They're doing all that they can do. Everyone is putting their heart and soul and efforts. Although the winter season, cold weather and earthquake happening during the night makes things more difficult, he said. The second quake was big enough to bring down more buildings and, like the first, was felt across the region, endangering rescuers struggling to pull casualties from the rubble. In Syria, already wrecked by more than 11 years of civil war, the health ministry said that 711 people had been killed. In the Syrian rebel held northwest, emergency workers said 733 people had died. The United Nations says that 4.1 million people, many of them displaced by the conflict and living in camps, depend already on cross border humanitarian aid in the northwest Syria, and international support efforts are stretched and underfunded. So, does that mean that they're not going to get any help? Is that what that means? Are they saying, hey, we're stretched and we're underfunded, so you may not get any help or you may not get as much? It goes on to say that Syrian communities are simultaneously hit with ongoing cholera outbreak, and harsh winter events, including heavy rain or snow over the weekend. UN spokesman Stefan, Durajic told the reporters in New York. In the government-controlled city of Aleppo, footage on Twitter shows 2 neighboring buildings collapsing one after another, filling the streets with billowing dust. 2 residents of the city, which had been heavily damaged in the war, said the buildings had fallen in the hours after the quake, which was felt as far away as Cyprus and Lebanon. In the Syrian government held city of Hama, a Reuters journalist saw an apparently lifeless child carried from the ruins of a building. In the rebel held town of Jandaris in Aleppo province, a mound of concrete, steel rods, and bundles of clothes lay where the multi story building once stood. There were 12 families under there. Not a single one came out. Not one, said a thin young man, his eyes wide open in shock, and his head was bandaged. Riyad al Salih of the Syrian White Helmets, a rescue service in rebel held territory known for pulling people from the ruins of buildings destroyed by airstrikes, said they were in a race against time to save the lives of those under the rubble. Syrian state television showed rescue teams searching for survivors in heavy rain and sleet. President Bashar al-Assad held an emergency cabinet meeting to review the damage and discuss next steps, his office said. In the Turkish city of Diyarbakir, Reuters journalists saw dozens of rescue workers searching through a mound of debris, all that was left of a big building, and hauling off bits of wreckage as they looked for survivors. Occasionally, they raised their hands and called for quiet, listening for sounds of life. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken spoke by phone with the Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu on Monday about the earthquake. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said he made the call, quote, in the first instance to offer condolences and to make clear that anything Turkey needed that we could provide, they should pick up the phone and let us know, closed quote, Price said. Erdogan said 45 countries had offered to help the search and rescue efforts in Turkey. The earthquake also halted operations in Turkey's oil export hub and Ceyhan and stopped crude flows from Iraq to Azerbaijan. Yeah, now we're getting down somewhere, right? Turkey's lira hit a record low of 18.85 in early trade, and the country's stock tumbled around 5%, although both pared losses later, with the currency ending the day flat and equity indexes closing 1.3 to 2.2% lower. In the Turkish city of Malatya, a rescue worker crawled into a collapsed building trying to identify a survivor trapped under wreckage in footage released by the emergency agency AFAD. What color are you wearing? Are you wearing pink? Please take care of yourself for the moment. I cannot see anything else, the rescue worker could be heard saying. Now, boy, first of all, 7.8 quake. 7.8 quake. I know the scripture says that there are going to be, earthquakes in diverse places. There's going to be all kinds of things going on in various places. I know that. But a 7.8 is absolutely unheard of. And it went for the longest time. If you saw any of the clips, if you guys saw any of the clips, right? It went for a good long while. But a 7.8 earthquake is literally almost unheard of. And I'm not going to say what we possibly already know, but oh boy. I feel like in Syria and a few other places in that region, there are a lot of Christians. There's a lot of Christians. All right. There's a lot of them there. A lot. And I just find it amazing that people have to pick up the phone and call. You don't know how to just send help on the way? Y'all had homeboy all the way over here speaking to our Congress as if he was a state senator or a state governor from within the United States, begging, send me some planes, send me some jets, please, please. We need you to send us some tanks, in his never-ending green garb that he wears on every single news clip and article. That drab, pukey green that he wears everywhere, all the time. Nobody ever asks any questions, just he's got it on, it's his. But this cat was over here just begging and begging and begging and begging and begging. And we act like we're trying to play hard to get, no, we're not going to send you any of those. No, we're not going to send you any of those because those take too much. Oh, we'd have to train you if we sent that. Oh, takes too much maintenance. That's okay. We got a few mechanics hanging around and we're going to send some cats to train you. And guess what? You're not going to have to pay for anything. And we're not going to give you any of the old ratty stuff we've got. We've got a whole fund to send it to you. We got a whole fund. We're going to take it out of the fund and send you some brand new stuff. Then we're going to lie and tell everybody it's going to take a year when it's probably already there on its way now. But these poor people got to pick up the phone and call. Oh, just call us and tell you what you need. Tell us what you need. Just call us. I believe it did go to the mid-8s, Zach, because they already know that if you come at us, those of us who know that have been studying different stuff, and you say 8, we're going to already know. Bingo, bango, that wasn't real. That was created. I'm leaving that alone. I'm backing up off of that. Huh. Okay? All right? Anything that's over a certain number will crash the tectonic plates themselves. That's a joke. But to think, these poor people have to actually pick up the phone and call. But that goes to show exactly what's really real. In my impression, there's a lot of people that suffer by things that they didn't have nothing to do with. And whether something's done by a machine or done by real or, happens naturally occurring, it's of no consequence. The people still need help. And I don't really give a rip about how it happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a dog in that hunt. But what I do know is that there are human beings who need help. And that this nation would literally tell them, oh, sugar, I'm so sorry you had that happen to you. Won't you just give me a call? Let me know if you need something. That's just like saying, kiss my rump, kiss my grits. And I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's cool at all. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. It's just not nice. Certainly not American. Certainly not American. Or is it? Is this the new America? Huh? That's scandalous at best. That's scandalous that we would actually say that to somebody. Give us a call if you need anything. Meanwhile, they're drowning. Meanwhile, they're freezing. Meanwhile, they got babies, mamas. Hey, King BJ. Meanwhile, they got folks that need help. Meanwhile. And we're sitting up here like, oh, yeah, sure. We'll send you some help. We'll send you some help. Recalls and more, folks. Recalls and more. Recalls and more. So let's go ahead and look at one more before we close. I don't like to take more of an hour of your time. Let's see. What do we got here? Russia warns the United States the end of nuclear arms control may be high. Ooh. Okay, y'all want to hear that one, or do you want to hear about the brutal cold seizes northeast U.S. shattering record lows, or the snow that lingers in the Rockies and in the Midwest? Cookies being recalled. Comfort foods. Is this an old one? Did we already read this? Let's check, because we like comfort foods. No, this was just recently. This was just recently. Let's take a segue off of that. I know it's impossible for us to take a segue off of that because it is such a sad situation. It makes me more ashamed of this place every single day. But I want to read this because, a lot of people pack lunches and they put cookies in them. And then I just like cookies. I just like cookies. Let me see which cookies these are. And I love hanging out with you guys because we could always just start reading something, which I don't even know what it is. We just read it. But I love that about hanging out with you guys over here. B&G Food issues voluntary allergy alert for undeclared peanut. There goes the peanuts we were talking about earlier. Peanut in 3 cases of Back to Nature fudge mint cookies. The company announcement date was February the 1st, 2023, and the FDA published the date was the same. The type of product is obviously food and beverage, and the reason for the announcement is undeclared peanuts. The company name B&G Foods Incorporated, and the brand name is Back to Nature. The product description is their fudge mint cookies. B&G Foods announced today that it is voluntarily recalling 3 cases, 18 individual boxes. What? 18 individual boxes. They should be able to figure out where those went, right? You guys have done shipping and receiving before. If you only got 3 cases, then you already know where that went. Or maybe they're just trying to protect the people who may have already purchased them and have them at the house. Well, that's nice of them to tell everybody. It says, of a single date code of 6.4 ounce Back to Nature fudge mint cookies with a Best Buy date of October the 2nd, 2023. After being notified that an ingredient supplied by a third-party ingredient supplier was contaminated with peanuts, an allergen not declared on the cookie box label, people who have an allergy or severe sensitivity to the peanut run the risk of serious or life-threatening allergic reactions. That's right. A lot of people have to carry those EpiPens on them. It's not a joking matter. Not at all when you can't breathe. So if they consume the cookies containing all in 3 recalled cases, contained in the 3 recalled cases. So that's what they're concerned about, that it'll be a life-threatening allergic reaction. This recall affects only 3 cases of the following product, which may have been distributed in retail stores nationwide. Just 3 cases. Huh. Back to Nature fudge mint cookies. It's got a number 8, 1989, 8, 0, 10, 2, 5, 6.4 ounce. Best Buy date, October 2, 2023. This recall does not apply. Let's get this clear. This recall does not apply to any other Best Buy dates, sizes, or varieties of the Back to Nature products. Well, it's nice that they were able to do that at least, because somebody would have said, well, it's just 3 boxes, just forget about it, because you heard me starting. But of course, being that it has those peanuts, you start to back up. Check your attitude at the door, sister. No allergic reactions have been reported to date. This recall was initiated in cooperation with the FDA and the third-party co-packer that produces the cookies after it was discovered that an ingredient supplied by a third-party ingredient supplier was contaminated with peanut. Here's a number down below if you need to contact them, which tells you that the consumers who are allergic to the peanut should not consume the products. You guys, you can either turn it to the store that you purchased for a full refund, or you can throw it out. Either one that is most convenient for you. I don't like that kind of stuff. That's really sad. But we got to do this, you guys, so that way we are able to at least talk about it and get some stuff out there. Let's see what this health news is before we leave. I know I said we was going to stop. Drug companies face COVID cliff in 2023 as sales set to plummet. Gilead's breast cancer drug gets U.S. FDA approval for the 3rd indication. Listeria outbreak linked to mushrooms. I have mushrooms upstairs in the refrigerator. All countries dangerously unprepared for future pandemics. Man, you guys, we should have started this here. We should have started this over here. What do you guys want to read something? Pick it. Pick which one. All countries dangerously unprepared for future pandemics. AbbVie's Humira gets a U.S. rival but costs could stay high. CDC investigating deadly outbreak of a drug-resistant bacterial infection tied to eye drops. Let's read it. Oh, let's read this. Let's read this. Eye drops, mushroom, mold. Okay, Joy. Anthony, it's our brother, fam. Hey, Anthony Van Zant. Anthony Van Zant. Hello. Okay, you guys, it says that the CDC investigating a deadly outbreak of a drug-resistant bacterial infection tied to eye drops. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced January 20th to immediately discontinue the use of the eye drops Ezra Care artificial tears. The CDC warns the eye drops may be tied to a multi-state cluster of serious bacterial infections. Here's a name that's really hard to say. It looks like carbapenem-resistant pseudomonas aeruginosa. I'm not going to try to say that again. So according to the announcement from May 17, 2022 to January 19, 2022, the CDC's in partnership with state and local health departments identified 56 isolates, from 50 case patients from 11 states: California, Colorado, looks like Florida, New Jersey, New Mexico, Nevada. I see Texas, Utah, Washington. It's with VIMGESCRPA. 38 cases are a part of 4 facility clusters with the dates of the specimen collection from May to December of 2022. The isolates have been identified from clinical clusters of cornea 10, sputum or bronchial wash 11, urine 6, and other non-sterile sources 4, as well as blood 2, and from rectal swabs 23 collected for surveillance. These specimens were collected in both outpatient and inpatient healthcare settings. Patient outcomes include permanent vision loss resulting from ocular infection, hospitalization, and death of one patient with bloodstream infection. The CDC recommends that clinicians and patients immediately discontinue the use of Ezra Care artificial tears until the epidemiological investigation and laboratory analyses are complete. Pseudomonas or pseudomonas are a type of bacteria or germ that is found commonly in the environment, like in soil and water. Of the many different types of pseudomonas, the one that is most often the cause infections in humans is called Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which can cause infections in the blood, lungs, pneumonia, or other parts of the body after surgery. These bacteria are constantly finding new ways to avoid the effects of antibiotics used to treat the infections they cause. Antibiotic resistance occurs when the germ no longer responds to the antibiotics designed to kill them. If they develop resistance to several types of antibiotics, the germs can become multi-drug resistant. The CDC tracks Pseudomonas aeruginosa and the infections this germ can cause, including antibiotic-resistant infections. Additionally, the CDC works closely with partners, including public health departments and other federal agencies, healthcare providers, and patients to prevent healthcare infections and to slow the spread of resistant germs. Now, didn't we just have an entire situation where we have a low amount of antibiotics left? Antibiotics, as well as a low amount of the inhalers, something one of the main components to the inhalers for people with asthma or whatnot. This is terrible. If you know anybody that has this and they're using them, please tell them to stop using the eye drops. You just bought eye drops? Max Vision, did you see it? Did you hear what we just read? I saw you were asking me to read it. I hope you were in here. Yeah, that's terrible. Fungal infections becoming more common now that so many have compromised their immune systems. They all do. Yep. And they do. That last part, Mama Marie, you're right. When I'm sick enough to die, I will be at home dying with dignity, says Joy Trujillo. You got it? Okay, good, Max Vision. It's good to see you, Max. Max Vision remote viewing class. It's so awesome to see you. Good to see you. You too, Anthony Van Zant. You, Fifi, you. You, Fifi, you. I need you to come on up here and be my co-host a few nights out of the week. I know you're busy. You're a busy man. Back to nature, anything just isn't even in my budget. Okay? Back to nature. Make your own stuff. The CDC works closely with partners equal lockstep to 101. Yes, sir. All right, you guys. I held you 5 minutes and 50 seconds over in class, so I apologize. But I missed you guys. I'm so glad that we had this time to hang out. I'm so glad we had this time together just to sit around and let me hush before I get one of them copyright strikes. Remember that, y'all? Remember that, Anthony and Marty? I was singing a song. Remember that, Betty? I was singing a song and they gave me a copyright strike. And I think maybe it was because of the words, but I had sang a bunch of it. And they were like, yeah, you were playing a song that didn't belong to you. I'm like, dude, we're just having a good time. People already know it's not me. That song doesn't belong to me. It's old. It's old. They get a little hyperactive here. Betty R has some good stuff hanging out over there on Instagram. Good stuff you're doing, girl. You're cooking. You're cooking with gas. You're cooking with gas, sister. I remember that. LOL. Yes, I remember that, Felicia. And they're nuts. They're nuts. Okay, you guys, I could hang out here, but probably everybody would leave if I just hung and just talked about nothing. We'll end up being like the what is it called? The Seinfeld of YouTube, or just a show about nothing, just chit chatting. Huh? Wouldn't that be funny? Isn't that nuts? That was so nutty. We were like, they did what? I couldn't believe it. But I'm so happy to see everybody here this evening. I'm so glad that you guys were all able to come in and look at some of these things that are going on. There was one, and I was remiss to tell you guys about it, but there was like a recall, and it was on Hershey chocolate. And I'm not sure if it was strychnine. Let me look at it. It was a recall on chocolate. And it had like let me see. It was a recall. It was a dark chocolate, right? Heavy metals. Was it this one? Let's see. The CD says that exposure to low levels of cadmium. This was it. This was it. So if you guys have any candy, let me see if I can. Yeah, it was a dark chocolate. Yep. About maybe like a month or so, a month and a half ago. I got to read this to you guys because if you guys are like me, I'm going to read this one. I know I said we were going to hang out and we were going to leave, but I feel like it's somebody may be hankering for some, some dark chocolate. I got to be careful how you say that. But anyway, somebody may be hankering for a little bit of of dark chocolate. Hey, come here. What do you got there? Dark chocolate. Okay, come here. Let me check it out. All right, Betty R. So listen, don't leave, Betty, in case you eat some of this Hershey chocolate. Don't y'all leave now. Wait a bit. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna read it straight through. I promise. I won't belabor it. Here you go. Hershey is being sued after tests showed its dark chocolate contained dangerous amounts and harmful lead and cadmium. One of my favorite chocolates. Hershey is being sued over the claims that its dark chocolate contains high level of lead and cadmium. A customer said in the lawsuit that these metals posed a serious health risk. The Mayo Clinic says lead builds up in the body and can cause headaches and high blood pressure and a whole lot of other stuff. Christopher Lazaro said in a lawsuit, first reported by Reuters, that the metals posed a serious health risk and sought damages of at least $5 million. Lazaro accused Hershey's of deceptive and misleading marketing of its special dark, mildly sweet chocolate. Lily's extra dark chocolate, 70% cacao, and Lily's extremely dark chocolate, 85% cacao, by not stating on the package that it contained lead and cadmium. Consumer advocacy, nonprofit Consumer Reports sent 28 dark chocolate bars from brands including Hershey's, Lily's, Trader Joe's, and Lindt for testing. The result published earlier in the month of December found that for 23 of the bars, eating an ounce a day meant an adult could consume more lead and cadmium than public health authorities generally considered safe. Quote, even small amounts of lead can cause serious health problems, says the Mayo Clinic, noting that it builds up over time and can cause high blood pressure, joint and muscle pain, headaches, and memory loss. It is particularly dangerous for pregnant women and children, according to, see, this kind of ish. This is the kind of bull feces that really, really gets my goat. Because you know this mess and you put it out any flipping way. It's like, do it and apologize later. Well, I hope this cat sues them and wins. And I hope everybody else who's been harmed by it, because I could have been harmed by it for all I know. I love me some Hershey's dark chocolate with almonds. For all we know, we've all been affected. And that's what I said the last time we was together about these recalls. I know I promised I was going to read straight through, but I'm flipping, and I'm sorry. But I have to interject because I love you guys so much. And I've got to speak your passion here. I've got to speak for those who are passionate. I've got to speak. So let me have them. Let me have the mic. I got the mic. I'm about to rap on the mic because okay, forget it. Let me stop. But it bothers me. So the CDC says that exposure to low levels of cadmium can cause the metal to build up in the body over time and may cause kidney disease, fragile bones, and even cancer. See, so this is the reason why it makes me angry, because we just slap these companies on the wrist. $5 million ain't nothing. Consumer Reports testing found that 1 ounce of Hershey's special dark, mildly sweet chocolate, and that is my favorite one, contained, get this, 265% of the level of lead and 30% of the level of cadmium that California classed as the maximum allowable dose. For Lily's extra dark chocolate, 70% cacao, 1 ounce contained 144% of the lead level and 42% of the cadmium level, while for Lily's extremely dark chocolate, 85% cacao. This was this is a problem because I don't eat milk chocolate. I'm getting real pissed off now. I'm really getting pissed now. The cacao, this was 143% for the lead and 101 for the cadmium. Man, you just gotta sit in a corner and just wait for your potatoes to grow. Wait for your lettuce to grow. You gotta stick seeds in the ground and cover them like a hawk and wait for your ish to grow. Because you keep messing around with these folks here, these poisonous people right here, the people that put on all these goddamn commercials. Every time you turn around, you sit down with your family, eat a meal, and every time you turn around, they want to tell you what's going to happen if you do this. Take this medicine if you got this problem. Why are you telling us about a brand new problem? Well, because you created it. Then you want to turn right around and say, hey, take this. But this might start diarrhea across eyes, blood in the stomach, the stool, continuously urinating while walking down the street, walking your dog, constant diarrhea, coughing, batting, blindness, hair loss, George Jefferson hairline. It can cause all kind of stuff. This is a mess. Ooh, this place. There aren't any federal limits on how much lead and cadmium most food can contain, the Consumer Reports say. Consumer Reports found that cacao plants take up cadmium from the soil, while lead seems to contaminate the beans as they dry in the sun after being picked. Lazaro said in a lawsuit that Hershey knew and could not be unaware of the existence of the lead and the cadmium in the products because it is the sources, the ingredients, manufacturers, and the products, and carried out quality control testing. in the products. They knew that it was in the products because it sources the ingredients, the manufacturers and the products. And they carried out the quality control testing. He said in the class action suit, or it's a group, likely contains thousands of members who were damaged by the company's deceptive and misleading product. Every human being. And then you guys got the audacity to peddle your wares every one of these pagan holidays. You can't have a pagan holiday without Hershey's. You can't have a pagan holiday without the little, without one of those little dark chocolate things. You can't. You can't. So it's every human being, everyone in America that's tasted it, that's touched it, that's looked at it, that's licked it, that's consumed it, that's bit it, that nibbled it, that let it tickle its fancy with the tongue. Everybody. Lazzaro's attorney did not immediately respond to the insider request for comment on why he decided to file a lawsuit. Well, you know what? For them specifically, he should have sued all of them and let the judge decide who had standing, who he could sue. Hershey did not immediately respond to the insider's request for a comment on the lawsuit. No, they didn't. They didn't have nothing to say. They had nothing to say, but they sure enough be jingling them little bitty bells down here, don't they? These right here, the little kisses every holiday. But you think you're doing something good, having yourself a dark piece of chocolate as opposed to the milk chocolate. You're trying to do what's right. And then all of a sudden, you see? So you can't win. Just like, what's that old Michael Jackson song? It's an old Michael Jackson song, but it's from The Wiz. That's what it's from, The Wiz. You can't win. You can't break even when you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are going to work out, but they all end up the same. You can't win. You can't win. Let me get my rump out of here. I am 17 minutes and 13 seconds past the time that I promised. So I'm going to shut her down. Yeah, I'm going to shut her down. But I'm not happy about the stuff that I see. I don't think it's nice at all. I think it's quite mean. And I think that for us to have all of these alphabet groups, you know, the FDA, the such and such, the LMNOP, the QRSTs, the, you know, hey, Alan Davis, the QRSTs, the all of that stuff, that we really are in trouble. This is really sad. Oh, Biden addresses Congress. So it does. It makes you get a little upset. But the one thing we always know, because we always hear this stuff, we always talk about this stuff, but you know, we always turn ourselves back to Yah. We all do here. Every one of us. We all, you know, we come here and we chat together and we say, oh, that makes me angry. Oh, I just want to shake my fist at them. But we all know where our, you know, where our trust and our hope is. And we know who it is and who it's in. And so it's going to be okay. All right, you guys. I want to tell all of you, and you are so welcome, Marty Lauderdale. I love you much. Vicky, Mama Marie, Joser 23, Joy Trujillo, Alan Davis, my boy. Betty R. We ate some kisses just recently too. See, it pisses you off because then you'll end up with your back all hurting, feeling all funny. Mitchell Neely, if you still here, thank you for hanging out. You be feeling all crazy with your body all hurting and not knowing what's up. You thinking you getting old. No, you just had some old nasty chocolate from these folks. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on. And don't eat them fish. That's right, Mitchell. That fish ain't good. That fish ain't right. That fish is from, where was it from, Mitchell? India. And India, Mitchell said, Rage, what's going on, Rage Against the Machine? Hey, sweetie. Mitchell just got through saying that it wasn't good what they do to the human beings that fall over in the water. They throw them in their water too. I don't want to say it, but I know one thing. Don't eat that. And you already know that Reverend Pork Chop probably been at all the stairs because he found it at a discounted rate. And they're going to have it at their church. He said there are people in them fish. Oh, gosh, you guys. All right. I don't want to leave, but I got to. I love each and every one of you guys. And I want you to remember what we always say on any Felicia Lockhart Group LLC publication. That is, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys remember to do like we always say and take care of mama, take care of papa, take care of yourself, baby. Worry about yourself first. And then after you do that, you can take care of other people, but you need to take care of you. Cut out the stress. Cut out the stragglers. Cut out the people who are too big to be hanging on your mammary glands at 40 years old and 33 years old. Cut them big babies off. Mama, cut them off. They'll be all right. You move out the way. I guarantee you, they'll be all right. Daddy, same thing for you. Take care of yourself, big papa. Take care of self. Take care of self. And then you can reach around and take care of other people when you are 100%. Okay? And until you and I see one another again, I want you to continue to remember to please continue to be blessed. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day.